Playing tournaments here, and that means play prediction time. So, welcome to Vlogs at A, and I am your host Hoops, and this is episode 4 of the review titled The Biggest Loser. Today's episode will be predicting playing tournament winners and losers and everything in between. Starting off with the Miami Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, I'm a Miami Heat fan, so I'm going to pick the Miami Heat, but I have very good reason to do so. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is one of the best postseason performers we have in this league right now. Playoff Jimmy is a real thing. Averages 27 points per game every time he touches the postseason, and he's willing to do everything. Just makes him a threat to any team, any seed once he enters it. Um, this season has been rough for the Miami Heat. Just plain and simple. I don't think it's. We've been flirting with breaking it up for like a whole season. There've been so many articles and just breakups and so much turmoil on the court, right? That has just come from the season. But Jimmy Butler's performance, especially post All-Star break, where he had to average like 25 points just to get us into the postseason, has truly been one of the most fun times of this league, right? Of this season. Coming into it, in terms of just the three, Jimmy, Bam, Tyler. Bam has been more comfortable offensively this season. This is one of his most productive seasons as a player, and you can see that in how he plays. He's more aggressive, he's more comfortable with the shots he's taking, and you feel more comfortable with the shots he's taking. Obviously, he hasn't taken that offensive leap which everyone would have liked him to take, but you can see him gradually and become more comfortable with the shots he's taking, and I feel like his ability to not only work on the offensive side but still bring his All NBA first team defensive self as well will help to beat the Miami. Will help beat the Atlanta Hawks as well. Tyler Hero is our best scorer, plain and simple. He's one of the best pure scorers in this league, and just him being there, the threat that he brings, his pick and roll with Bam, and the connection that they have, and his ability to shoot the three and be a three-level scorer is going to help us tremendously in this matchup. Gabe Vincent and Max Strus are the X factors for this Miami Heat team. The litmus test for every if you want to know if Miami Heat won, check Max Strus and Gabe Vincent's box scores. If they play well, we win. Quite simply, plain and simple. They will play well, we win. So we need them to be locked in and to literally bring their best selves possible. My personal X factor is Cody Zeller. I love Cody Zeller. I love his energy. I love what he brings to this team, and his minutes when his minutes in the game when Bam are off are going to be extremely key in terms of rebounds and just getting the ball up and down the court. In terms of being that amazing screener that he can be, it will be extremely vital. Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love, we need them to literally shoot threes, and more in Kevin Love's case, get rebounds. That's the only job for the day. Get rebounds and shoot threes. Now, Caleb Martin is going to have an amazing job in terms of needing to slow down Trae Young, and I feel like his wing depth is going to be extremely key for our matchup. And not only that, but moving on, if Caleb Martin can do an amazing job defensively, we should have a good chance to win all games in terms of him locking down, not locking down, but slowing down the other team's best players. The Hawks are a threat in terms of Trae Young. Trae Young's averaging 26 points and 10 assists. 10 assists. I think he won the assist title this season for the second time in a row, and our NBA short king has done an amazing job. Quite simply, he's done an amazing job, and I think the biggest reason why he's getting as many All Star nods, all no not All Star, all NBA nods is because of where the team are. But this has been one of Trae Young's best seasons overall. So far, from what I've looked at this team, I haven't watched them a lot. I don't feel like I haven't watched them a lot, but from what I've seen, their wing depth is actually much more in depth, much better than it was last time. In terms of they have a lot of quality wing depth, which I feel like if any of these players shows up, we can actually get knocked out, not knocked out, but get knocked out to the second round, to the second part of the playing tournament. So I'm looking at Sadiq Bey, DeAndre Hunter, and Jalen Collins. These are, in my opinion, if these guys do anything offensively, we could be in for a long fight. Dejounte Murray will be key in terms of when we double trade. Can he can he negate that effect for Trae Young? So Trae Young's going to be double, but if DeJounte Murray can pick up that load quickly and adjust to those changes quickly and on the fly, and still bring his 20 points every night, we could get knocked out, in my opinion. So this team isn't as sitting ducks as I would say. I would feel like they have a definitely solid chance of beating us if they have a solid chance of beating us as well. But as I said, we have Timberwolves and they don't, so we're probably going to win. Next team, Lakers versus Timberwolves. Lakers. Lakers have been one of the best teams post trade deadline, and obviously that's due to the amazing work that Rob Pelinka has done in terms of bringing in six quality role players in terms of, and key ones I would say Jerry Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, and Malik Beasley. Those are my favorite players in terms of who can make the biggest postseason success, and especially for this game against the Timberwolves. D'Lo, because he can play off LeBron and he can play with LeBron. His 3 point percentage allows him to not only be a liability in terms of he doesn't need the ball all the time. LeBron can cook the Timberwolves when he needs to, and still have D'Lo to run the offense if need be. But as we all know, Anthony Davis is the driver of this team. If Anthony Davis plays well, this team is going to win. And if Anthony Davis doesn't show up, and hopefully he does, and I have no reason to believe that he won't based on the almost 30 games that he's had previous to this, they're going to win. Timberwolves now. Timberwolves. On Sunday, the Timberwolves had arguably two of the best centers in the game and an all-NBA defensive first-team candidate in Jaden McDaniels. Two punches later, they're left with literally no one, technically. But injuries and self-inflicted dumb decisions have literally ravaged this team. And we're left with now a question of, is there hope? Yes, there's hope. Anthony Edwards. If Anthony Edwards can show up, and I believe he will, based on what he's shown me this season in terms of his leadership and the way that he's carried himself, and honestly his self-awareness, he can really impact this team and bring about so much. He can bring this team together right now, especially when it needs to. He can be that voice to bring together Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert when they come back. Obviously next team, but when they come back, and I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Edwards got a 40 point in this game to take them through. So Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns, especially as his right hand man, are key players in this matchup. If Cat needs to come and not rain threes, I need this guy to bring a whole hailstorm. I need a hailstorm of threes, because he's not going to stop Anthony Edwards. He's not going to stop Anthony Davis. Sorry, he's not going to stop Anthony Davis. Karl-Anthony Towns is not going to stop Anthony Davis. But if you can offensively show up and you can put up with those threes, you have a solid chance. One thing I'm looking at in this matchup is point of attack. If Anthony Edwards can drive and put as many of those Jerry Vanderbilt and Austin Reeves and who else and Rui Hachimura in foul trouble, hopefully as early as possible, that's key to this matchup. If Anthony Edwards and people like Jalen McLaughlin can really drive and just get as much points up against in the lane as possible, just put as many people and just get the Lakers uncomfortable. This team has done an amazing job in terms of being like good in terms of closing the paint down. But when they encounter uncomfortable positions, they don't have that much defensive depth, especially in center position and guard position, where after Jerry Vanderbilt and Anthony Davis, it's a bit shaky. So driving to the lane and getting as much fouls as you can is key to this matchup. 1-on-1, the Lakers win. It's quite simply. They're more healthy. They have more chemistry. They have the vibes. Quite simply, they literally have that, and amazing team. I feel like the Lakers have the biggest in terms of beyond the play-in. They have the most they have the most upside in terms of a team in the play-in as well. So I'm picking the Lakers in this one. Next up, OKC Thunder versus the New Orleans Pelicans. This is my favorite matchup. This is going to be this is the future of the NBA on display in prime time, where BI versus Shai Alexander, two leaders, 2 points, two young guards who are battling it out for in front of the whole world. The display future of the NBA. You can just see the headlines: BI versus Shai. Um, that is going to be the key matchup as well. Who's going to win that matchup? BI versus Shai. Next, Lou Dort versus Herbert Jones. Two future All NBA defensive first team candidates, and hopefully defensive player of the year candidates as well. Lou Dort and Trey Murphy, not Trey Murphy and Herbert Jones are two of the best defensive guards that we have in this league right now. And whoever wins their matchup in terms of being faced against the opposite star player will highlight who will win. So if Herbert Jones plays well, they're winning. If Lou Dort plays a better game and slows down BI, they're winning, quite simply. So that's a win. And then X Factors, Jalen Williams and Trey Murphy. In this matchup, it's about if Trey Murphy will show up, and he's now shown that this season he has the most. He's been the breakout player for the New Orleans Pelicans in terms of averaging close to four. Not close to, averaging 40% three, and I believe on efficient 6 pointers in 6 attempts a game. And then you have Jalen Williams, who's improved month upon month of his rookie year and almost been a dark horse rookie of the year contender. Obviously going to Paolo, but Jalen Williams definitely gave him a run for his money. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then these two teams, the New Orleans Pelicans and the Oklahoma City Thunder, are for me two sides of the same coin. Both young teams with amazing futures who are building amazing teams. Because once you look like beyond like the star players, they have quality and talented depth. For me, I'm looking at someone like Isaiah Joe and OKC, who can, if he shows up in terms of the threes, they have a chance to beat the New Orleans Pelicans. On the New Orleans Pelicans side, I'm looking at someone like, in terms of who, Dyson Daniels probably. If he can show up and he can slow down someone like Shai in terms of defensively, you could definitely see them doing a number of the Pelicans. But head to head, I'm choosing the Pelicans to win this. I feel like someone like CJ McCollum and Valanciunas, they just bring a bit more, and they offer a bit more quality offensively and defensively to the New Orleans Pelicans, that kind of take them over the top to the Thunder. But I'm definitely looking forward to watching these teams for a long period of time. Last matchup, Raptors versus Bulls. This is the matchup where the coaches, in my opinion, are the X factors in this matchup. If Nick Nurse devises a defensive scheme that can slow down not only DeMar DeRozan, but also Zach LaVine, who's actually had a very good resurgent season this season, who's been very resurgent this season, and these two have become a very sneaky duo. I feel like they have a chance to win. Their length and their defense and their competent offense, and competent is like competent. Their competent offense is like they have enough to win, right? So I feel like if they can show up, and if Nick Nurse devises the perfect defensive scheme, they should have enough. If any of the players, if OG, if Pascal, if Scotty does not show up defensively, I'm leaning more towards the Bulls, because I feel like they have more offensively, as I said, and Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, who are sneakily one of the most scariest duos in the league, and someone like Alex Caruso, who's a first team all defensive NBA candidate, and someone like Patrick Beverly, who you know is always going to bring it to you no matter what. These four players have enough, in my opinion, to just take them over the top. And then the X factor in the Bulls is Kobe White. Kobe White has had one of the best seasons he's in his career, his most efficient, his most in terms of winning basketball. This has been one of his best seasons, and he's had such a good impact on this Bulls team. And I feel like with him, if he has a good game, if he has an amazing game on both sides of the court, he should be having enough to win as my X factor. On the Raptors side as well, it has to come down to OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby has to have a complete game. Because I know Pascal and Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr. and all of those guys are going to do good. But if OG can slow down the Bulls, if OG can lock down Zach LaVine, they should win this game comfortably. Now, it all comes down to matchups, right? So with Atlanta Hawks versus the Bulls in this case, right? I'm assuming the Bulls go through. I'm thinking that the Bulls are going to. I'm thinking that the Raptors are the Bulls versus the Raptors. I'm assuming that they're going to win. So, those are my predictions. Hope you please let me know what your predictions are as well, and we see you when tomorrow probably because after watching the games, come reaction time and see all of that. Thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow.